Welcome to Lights, Camera and Cricket. I'm Nikhil Naz. Now, the Lucknow Super Giants are on the verge of being knocked out of the IPL 2024 playoff race after a massive defeat at the hands of the Sunrisers Hyderabad. The net run rate has taken a beating after back-to-back heavy losses, and a team that has made the playoffs on every occasion since they started life as an IPL side in 2022 are now on the verge of missing out on the playoffs for the very first time. This hasn't gone down too well with the team owners, and from what we saw last night, Captain KL Rahul has been put on notice. How did things come to this? What's the entire story? Let's try and break it down for you tonight. Now, last night, the game versus SRH may have proved to be the final straw for the team from UP. Chasing 166 to win, Sunrisers Hyderabad made easy work of the low total set by KL Rahul and co. as they chased it down even before half of the innings had ended. Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma, who have performed a lethal opening pair, were at their destructive best. Both found the boundary on a regular basis, taking apart LSG's best laid plans and leaving the KL Rahul-led side shell-shocked.
For words. We watched that kind of batting on TV when they batted like a few games, but this was just like unreal batting. Like I have no words to describe how well they were hitting the ball. Everything seemed to find the middle of the bat, and yeah, I guess just kudos to the skill level, and I'm sure all of them have worked really hard with their six hitting ability, and that you can see that in the middle.
Now, while the captain in KL Rahul put up a brave face after the hammering received at the hands of SRH, KL Rahul, the batter, is under the scanner. If LSG managed a paltry 165 in the first innings, it was down entirely on Rahul's knock. He scored 29 of 33 balls at a meager strike rate of 88, when a strike rate closer to 200 has become the norm for openers this season. As a result, LSG's total was always going to be under par, given 200 plus scores are commonplace in the 2024 edition. Now, if one looks at KL Rahul's numbers in this IPL, it suggests that scoring runs is not an issue for the skipper. He is currently the top run getter for LSG this season, having scored 460 runs. But the number that stares you in the face is the rate at which he scores runs. Even as he sits 6th in the list of highest run getters this season, his strike rate is well below par for an opener at 136, a fact that hasn't escaped many cricket experts.
If this doesn't wake KL up to the style of cricket that he needs to play going forward to be successful and to continue to play for India, I don't know what will. Good coach and a good coaching structure or management, and to give him the confidence that it's okay to fail and we're not going to drop you. And even that message coming from the top, like I don't see any harm in Dravid and Rohit and the likes actually saying, well, we're not going to drop you if you have this intent all the time, because we know it takes some time for you to change the style of play.
Even former Australia and CSK opener Matthew Hayden did not spare Rahul's timid approach. He said, and I quote, "I have to call them out. This is not a 5 runs per over wicket. Somebody needed to show intent. They had one of the slowest power plays that took the innings nowhere. Your intention has to be to go at over 10 and over. 160-70 would have never been enough." Now, look at the stats being racked up by the best openers this IPL season proves that Virat Kohli opens for RCB and currently tops the scoring charts. And despite him facing criticism for his strike rate, it still is a respectable 148. Sunil Narine and Phil Salt have been destructive at the top of the order for KKR. Narine is striking it at 184, Salt at 183. SRH's duo of Head and Abhishek, they are striking it at 102 and 206, I beg your pardon, 202 and 206 respectively. Rahul's strike rate pales in comparison. And this has been a recurring issue with Rahul over the past few seasons. An injury hit 2023 saw him score only 273 runs at a 113 strike rate. In 2022, he was the second highest run getter, but his strike rate stood at 135. He scored 626 runs in 2021, but again, strike rate underwhelming at 138. 2020 followed a similar pattern, 670 runs, but a strike rate of only 129. So it's been a continuous problem with KL Rahul. Now, to make matters worse for Rahul, LSG team owner Sanjeev Goenka was seen having a very animated conversation with his skipper after the loss last night. Goenka was unable to hide his displeasure and didn't seem too pleased with what he had witnessed on the night. Given the IPL is very much like a corporate setup, with the captain being directly answerable to the owners, this may not have come as a huge surprise to many. In fact, many wondered whether Rahul would have any future with the franchise now, given the manner in which things have played out in the public. As Goenka spoke to not only Rahul but even head coach Justin Langer, in both cases it was the owner who did most of the talking, and it was evident that the humiliating nature of the loss did not sit well with the team bosses. But the owners' reactions didn't go down too well with those watching on the sidelines. Fans on social media were quick to back the LSG skipper and show solidarity with him. Many felt that while the owner having a hard talk was understandable, this should have been handled with more dignity and behind closed doors rather than in the public domain. Former South African captain and commentator Graeme Smith echoed the same sentiments. He said it's the owner who's very passionate about his team. His team has taken an absolute drubbing and the emotions have rolled over. You feel these conversations should be happening behind closed doors? There are so many cameras around.
There's a time and place. You know, I think there's a place behind closed doors where there might have been a better option rather than the whole world watching. If it was done behind closed doors, you would not be asking me this question now. But you've also, on the other side, looked at the passion that the owners have, the passion the coaches have. They want their team to do the best. So, yeah, maybe just pick their time.
Now, it's worth noting that Sanjeev Goenka is the same team owner who made the extremely brave call to remove MS Dhoni from captaincy after rising Pune Super Giants' first season in 2016 ended with the side finishing 7th in the table. Goenka removed Dhoni and replaced him with Steve Smith, and it was a decision that divided many and became a talking point for much of that entire season. Even family members were not spared in the fallout, as Sanjeev's brother Harsh Goenka publicly stated that Smith replacing Dhoni was the right call. In Now, which has become an infamous tweet, in response, MS Dhoni's wife Sakshi posted 2 Instagram posts, one with her donning the CSK jersey and helmet, with another post about the rules of karma, implying it would come back to haunt the franchise from Pune. But that did not stop Goenka from going even more public with his feud.
We wanted a young captain. We had the luxury of having Steve Smith and Faf du Plessis, 2 international world-class captains in our team. And we decided to have Steve. I spoke to Steve. He is very happy to accept. I've also spoken with Mahi, and he says that's absolutely fine.
Okay then, as things stand, LSG still have a mathematical chance of qualifying for the IPL playoffs, and that may just be the only hope that KL Rahul may have to save his job at the franchise. Else, the writing is on the wall. It may be curtains on the Lucknow Super Giants and KL Rahul partnership after 3 long years of not winning an IPL trophy. That's all that we have in this segment of the Indian Premier League